Archetypes. Archetype means primary pattern. In all known cultures, mothers and fathers, goddesses and gods are considered primary. The 5 Platonic forms are primary archetypes in many dimensions, from the universal matrix to chemical molecules and crystals to elemental fire, air, water, and earth. The soul recognizes archetypes because the soul eternally holds within itself its oneness with the patterns of creation. The 16 archetypes introduced in the next pages are based on my direct experience of spiritual qualities of fire, air, water, earth, and ether, associated by the ancient Greeks with the Platonic forms. Archetypes and soul. These 16 archetypes reflect qualities that relate to the 5 Platonic forms. They have relevance for the soul journey of wisdom. 4 correspond to fire, 4 to air, 4 to water, and 4 to earth. We have the divine eye within us as the all-seeing, all-knowing eye of the Creator. Through it, we are in touch with the love light and capable of bringing codes of original intent into earth expression for divine unfoldment. The codes of the universal number 64 are embodied in the divine eye. The star of resurrection is an archetype of spiritual radiance found in suns and halos. The codes implanted in Egypt became radiant in Yeshua Christos. Yeshua, or Jesus, received initiations in Egypt, which prepared him to extend the love light to all, from the poorest and most humble to the wealthiest and most powerful of his day. He demonstrated the miraculous power of the love light in a human being to reclaim oneness with the Creator and live it. The diamond heart archetype helps us to use pressures as opportunities to release attachments to the world, deepen our surrender, and open to Source. Actualizing the rich treasure of the diamond heart requires steadfast discipline amidst often chaotic circumstances. We are called to align with our divine potential by transforming all previous experience into understanding. Only then can inner light and outer light merge to make steady and constant the transparency and clarity of love. The cosmic human is the archetype of human potential as it transcends the conditionality of mortal life. The pentagonal form, which appears in the dodecahedron, is resonant with the ether and vibrates with all races. The cosmic human archetype is an integration of all the fire archetypes. Those drawn to it tend to be spontaneous, creative, spiritual visionaries. They naturally break out of the limitations of specific religious traditions to maintain a steady vision of the global, universal union of all beings with the love light. The pillar of eternity represents a column of eternal connection stretching between the love light and space-time through the imaginal. It is present in megaliths throughout the ancient world. This archetype is also implicit in the totems of native peoples. On these sacred totem poles, animals depict the continual metamorphosis between nature and the spirit worlds. People who activate this archetype may explore ley lines, power spots, and also out-of-body and after-death states. They will have a profound sense of the continuum of spirit and nature and their oneness with it. The emerald archetype has its roots in the matrix and the quantum interconnection of all things. It relates to the soul wisdom unique to each person, which can guide us to complete healing and balance. The tablet refers to the divine imprint of each soul's original name nature, and purpose. It is your soul matrix, an internal absolute guide. It contains the universal languages of color, sound, number, and form. To read the Emerald Tablet is to discern your true path and the means to attain it by intuition and direct knowing. The Tree of Life archetype enables us to navigate the triple realms like a shaman, to bring the healing medicines into the earth. Alchemically, to embody the Tree of Life is to attain understanding of all alchemical phases of self-transformation, and thus be able to navigate the imaginal realm and live in the love light while walking the earth. Alphabets of trees and the runes are modern tools for accessing this knowledge. When we open to the Tree of Life, we become receptive to spiritual mysteries. Then, each in our own way, we can distribute this wisdom to others. The crystalline child is the archetype of the child of God. Bringing this archetype to life requires innocence, openness, and adamantine strength. The fiery core of light resides in everything, and those attuned to the crystalline child can see right through disguises and defenses to the light of every soul and the purpose of every moment. Those who embody the crystalline child are free, they feel intrinsic joy, and they love to play. The cosmic vortex has transformative power resonant to water and electromagnetism, for energy at all levels flows in vortices. Those who activate this archetype can see into the root energies of things. People attuned to this archetype are often initiators, pioneers, or leaders. They can feel healing energies, and they enjoy experiencing these energies in nature and expressing them in art. They may also lead quiet, contemplative lives. The fractal spheres archetype represents the practice of seeing patterns, metaphorical correspondences among phenomena on many levels that can awaken consciousness. Images, the imaginal and imagination are strong in souls resonant with the fractal spheres. Reading symbols and situations with spiritual sight, we can apply understanding to individual and collective healing. By combining multiple senses and intuitive awareness, we know directly. Color, form, and sound become vehicles moving us beyond intellect to apply insights in science and art. The white cloud archetype pictures the transformation of energy and its release back to Prime Source. All mystical ways flow at one with it. It is a path of no self, anonymity, and complete openness to the truth of the love light. The white cloud represents the way to union with God by balancing the desire to know with the realization that one cannot know. Deep contemplation and humility can help us across this archetype. The crescent of beauty archetype focuses on the human destiny to clearly reflect divine radiance. Through this archetype, we dissolve fear by entering stillness and looking honestly at our mistaken interpretations of reality. The darkness and depth of the night and sea contrast sharply with the clarity of inner vision when we accept our oneness with eternal light. By engaging the crescent of beauty, we enjoy refining sensitivity and feeling that come from embracing and appreciating life as it is. The music of the spheres holds the function of creating substance through sacred geometry and harmonics. Platonic and Archimedean forms are sources of harmonics and ratios from which manifest realms emerge. The harmonic ratios of star systems and crystals, planets and plants all reveal a cosmic order. This archetype invites us to appreciate the intricate interconnections of all things as proportions. Attuned to the laws of vibration, we see beauty everywhere. Then within, we hear the music of the Logos, the Word of God. The Holy Mount archetype, as a step pyramid, represents a grounded approach to advancement. One moves slowly, step by step, to ascended realms of light. This archetype shows us that we can grow and evolve in a grounded, orderly way in a spiritually hierarchical universe. Beings and qualities at the top of the hierarchy are more humble, loving, and inclusive, able to take compassionate responsibility for those below. The Grail gives us the power to develop the heart-mind as a cauldron for transformation in which the innumerable ingredients of life experience are mixed, reduced, and distilled. We realize that we have incarnated not only to fulfill personal desires, but to mature in wisdom and love so that the elixir of the goodness of spirit pours out through us. The human body itself is a grail in which we undergo transmutation toward complete spiritual embodiment of the love light. The black cube archetype is a symbol sacred to Islam, where geometric designs and abstract arabesques confirm the profound tradition of geometry and form as universal languages for the soul. The black cube conveys the potential for humans to come to an absolute conviction of the goodness of Source and of creation. Interacting with this archetype leads to deep grounding in the spiritual rock of knowledge. The power of the black cube lies within each soul and can be accessed through sustained, humble contemplation. Morphotypes, like spiral or branch, are simple forms that resonate in human minds and souls. Here are morphotypes that correspond with the tattvas and their functions. We have the point, the step, the branch, and the spiral. And you can see the correspondence with the tattvas. Then we have the morphotype of the radial, the loop, the column, and the wave. And then we have the morphotype of the diamond, the sphere, the grid, and the unpredictable that I used to call the laminar form. 3 squares within a zodiacal wheel, moving clockwise, show the connections among the 12 main morphotypes as the create, maintain, and transform functions. To the right, we have 4 triangles within a zodiacal wheel moving clockwise, showing the connections among the 4 elements as codes, connections, energy flows, and substances. These 12 morphotypes reside in your body, in nature, and in objects, designs, and symbols. Each will appear in diverse forms by changing from angular to curvilinear and vice versa, by increasing or decreasing in number of parts or magnitude, or by other transformations. Archetypes and morphotypes. Awareness of an archetype stimulates our soul to recognize its purpose, for it raises the question, who am I? This is not an ego question, but a soul imperative. Each archetype and its element resonates to a specific morphotype. By using your imagination and intuition to explore the morphotypes, you invite vision and insight that will guide you to soul fulfillment. The first set of morphotypes are fire and the point morphotype. Fire archetypes relate to codes. What in nature best demonstrates a point? the pupil of the eye, the star, and the seed. What do all of these have in common? Focus, concentration, contraction, with potential to see a pattern or grow. What symbols have points? The divine eye, the Sri Yantra, the pine cone, represent the pineal gland. Invite a vision of the divine eye archetype. We're still looking at fire morphotypes. We have the radial, what natural forms radiate, stars and flowers. How do flowers respond to the sun and stars? They unfurl from plants. What is the function of flowers and plants? They are the sexual or regenerative organs. As flowers respond to radiant light, they regenerate. From this recognition in soul, you may create a symbol or see a vision, the star of resurrection archetype. And then we move on to the diamond morphotype, which is also fire. What are qualities of diamonds? A rhombus shape that is hard, transparent, and made with great heat and pressure. If you were to undergo heat and pressure and become strong and transparent, what inner qualities would you discover? Courage and heart. Behold the diamond heart archetype. Now we move on to air. First one is the column morphotype. Air connects. The column morphotype is found in plant stems, tree trunks, and pillars of buildings and spines. What do these have in common? Strength, support, ability to withstand gravity, and bear weight. Does this support come and go? No, it is constant, enduring. The column morphotype is vertical and connects heaven and earth. Use these associations to intuit meaning and applications of the pillar of eternity archetype. Also the air is the grid morphotype. What in nature demonstrates grids and lattices? Crystals. What do grids and lattices do? Interconnect, and like computer chips, serve as circuits for information. How does your soul's desire to know relate to a grid? It likely wants the most integrated, balanced, unbiased, neutral information. What color represents balance, neutrality, and healing? Green, emerald. Your soul may behold a vision or knowing of the emerald tablet archetype, a grid in resonance with the universal matrix. Also of air is the branch morphotype. What phenomena have branches? Trees, lungs, nerve nets, circulation systems, franchise stores. What do they have in common? Distribution of information, energy, or substance. Does life need branches to distribute air, blood, and messages? Yes. What happens when distribution occurs? Transformation. Can you sense the tree of life archetype aiding in your transformation? Then we move on to the spiral, which is a water morphotype. The archetypes of water are energy flows. The spiral is seen in spiral galaxies, hurricanes, springs, and water funneling down a drain, as well as in the spin of electrons and planets. What do these have in common? Great generating or degenerating force, potential and release of potential. The spiral appears in myriad forms, from galaxies and ferns to copper coils of generators. Feel the cosmic vortex archetype within and around you. Another water morphotype is the wave. What in nature demonstrates the wave? The sea, diving dolphins, electromagnetic waves. And what is the nature of these waves? Waves are spheres subdivided and oscillating. They are the basis of energy flow and transmission. Creation subdivides into endless fractals. Look into these waves and spheres of infinite scales and allow yourself to be healed by flowing within each moment of life. Meditate on the fractal spheres archetype. Another water morphotype is the unpredictable one. Where is turbulence found? In white water. The subatomic realm, steam, gases, and swirling dust. What characterizes all of these? Their patterns are almost incomprehensible to the mind. The confusion they bring calls us to surrender and release. It helps us detach from form and expectation, experience the mystery of the white cloud morphotype. Now we come to the earth morphotypes. First is the sphere. Earth archetypes express substance. The sphere offers protection and total symmetry. What is sphere like? Fruits and planets. They are containers and protectors. They hold and embrace. Onions also are sphere-like in layers, like planets whirling around the sun. At all levels of creation, spheres are vibrating and interacting. Hearing the music of the spheres comes from the great inner silence. This inward hearing of cosmic vibrations is like being in a sphere of primordial sound. Be still, listen, and sense the music of the spheres. Another earth morphotype is the step. These can be found in step pyramids, native designs, atomic shells, with quantum shifts up or down. This morphotype implies orderly, step-by-step building, ascent, or descent. When you see a mountain or tiered steps, be reminded of the Holy Mount archetype at work within you, gradually unfolding your potential. The last earth morphotype is the loop. The loop or torus morphotype gives feedback by turning inside out. What does this? Smoke rings and certain clouds. The heart with auricles and ventricles, pumping blood in and out. The whole body receiving food, digesting it, and excreting waste. What happens when the soul processes its experiences? What can give from a loving heart? We feel the body as a grail vessel, knowing and offering heart-mind unity. Aspire to the grail archetype. So to use morphotypes and symbols creatively, creativity is at the heart of the universe and within our own hearts. Consciousness is inherent in matter, but it is not limited to matter. The soul uses symbols creatively. We live in, by, and for an interconnected, coherent, self-regenerating cyclic wholeness. To become aware of oneness with the central sun of the love light is to be totally creative. The Caduceus symbol is both a picture of our spine and a code for healing and raising subtle energy, known as Kundalini. The Caduceus symbol combines the column, the wave, and the point morphotypes. At the top of the column in the Caduceus is a point, a pine cone, which represents our pineal gland. This is the point of focus from which we can behold the love light when we use the Caduceus symbol. Then the flower of life is a geometric pattern of 7 overlapping circles. It is one variant of the sphere morphotype. The sphere is the most highly protective morphotype. When overlapped, spheres show immense integrity. The Ankh symbol combines the morphotypes of the sphere and the radial. All forms of crosses are of the radial morphotype. The radial cross expresses extension from a center, a broadcasting of codes from the point. The Ankh symbol embodies a vertical alignment. In the Ankh, the circle represents protection from above. The wheel symbol integrates the sphere and radial morphotypes in a completely different way from the Ankh. The broadcasting energy of the radial comes from within the circle. The wheel demonstrates a highly integrated and balanced way of distributing power in all directions from a stable center. The wings of light symbol consists of the circle in the center, flanked by horizontal waves made of branches and feathers. Wings are not always wave-like, but they do wave in order to move. The feathers distribute chi to the wings to lift the central sphere through flights of ecstasy into the love light. The scarab symbol is a dark hexagon holding a light sphere. Like all insects, the scarab has 6 legs, relating it to the hexagon morphotype. Scarabs represent resurrection. They symbolize the rebirth of light, of the sun out of darkness, of organic life out of minerals, and of soul out of organic life. The trident is a column of balance and support, here shown with nested circles of protection at the base of 3 points. These 3 points are similar to the diamond morphotype. The trident implies a triple, highly condensed power on a staff of balance and support that protects and distributes power. The fleur-de-lis, while similar to the trident, features a central diamond emerging from a short column. The 2 side aspects are more like spirals, suggesting a generating and regenerating energy, supporting a condensed and unified power. In the Tai Chi symbol, a wave with a point on either side appears within the circle morphotype. This pattern suggests continuous transmission of yin and yang, receptive and active energy in a sphere of protection. The Sri Yantra is a variant of the Star of David, but much more complex. It comprises 4 descending triangles and 5 ascending triangles. All triangles are aspects of the diamond morphotype. So these imply various levels of intense, compressed energy focused around a point. The circle implies protection on all-embracing wholeness. In the lotus symbol, the circle embraces a radial. Many little point-like seeds in the central circle potentiate rebirth. The radial here is created from a variant of the diamond morphotype. Small branch-like leaves appear on the periphery between each petal. This symbol implies great potency of codes as seeds within a sphere of protection, being radiated out in a highly concentrated way. An open lotus implies awakening. The Dorje, sometimes called thunderbolt symbol, is a column modified with radials in both directions coming to points. This expresses a double focus above and below, radiating in balance. The step or mound symbolizes the Egyptian god Atum. The step is also common in Middle American art. This symbol is simply the step morphotype representing hierarchy as well as building in a step-by-step orderly unfoldment. The Jed pillar, associated with Osiris's resurrection, is a symbol combining the column with 4 circles of protection at the top. The column implies eternal connection between spirit and body, or heaven and earth. The Jed pillar represents support through physical life and beyond. The swastika was used for thousands of years before the Nazis gave it a disrespectful association. To many ancient peoples, it suggested the stars rotating around the pole star of the sky. It is, in essence, a rotating radial form, which suggests that it is also a radial in a circle. A point morphotype can be inferred in the center. The symbol can be used to energize a cosmic transmission within a whole. The Star of David is comprised of the double tetrahedron, implying a unity above and below, male and female, microcosm and macrocosm. The double tetrahedron is a phase through which the grids in the matrix move. Consequently, this symbol has a universal influence. Myths and symbols. The cosmogonic myths of the ancients are not pre-scientific explanations of the universe, but visions of wholeness from the imaginal realm. They reflect source more than the sensorial display of space-time does. To see the imaginal, we must go into the still point of consciousness, which merges the outer world of space-time with the simultaneity of time-space. There, these higher realms take us beyond shadows. In the imaginal, we see that everything is lit from within. The 16 archetypes guide us to explore the 4 functions of create, maintain, transform, and integrate. Myths may be grouped to reveal symbolically each of these 4 functions. Many archetypal quests of the soul are outlined for us in myths. Create. Creation myths focus on beginnings, including the origin of human life. The image at the right provide a summary. The 12 small circles within the large one symbolically depict the order of creation as stages of human history, from primordial beginnings through cave cultures and cults of the goddess to nomads and agricultural development, from priest-kings of city-states to our present imploding, exploding civilizations. If the create function attracts you, you tend to ask, where did I come from? How is everything created? What is creativity, and how can I access it? Myths of maintaining the cosmic order, such as those of kingship and the heavenly cycles, is where the protagonist must radiate light codes, align with the cosmic matrix or order, read signs like magicians and priests, and execute orders to build city-states. When you are drawn to these myths, you want to know, how can I consistently radiate light? How can I discipline myself to live in the present and read the signs of the times? How can I stay grounded while manifesting my dream? Myths of heroes and heroines and goddesses are of the transform function. Transforming a corrupt cultural order reveals a journey of descending into the underworld of the unconscious and emerging with boons of justice, love, and bounty. This requires great trust and sacrifice. It means facing the unknown and becoming a vessel of goodness. If you feel resonant with these myths, you seek to know, how can I face my own shadows and heal so that I'm available to serve? How can I transform myself in society to accord with truth and love? How can I continuously surrender to unconditional love and goodness amidst the trials of daily life? With the integrate function of myths, we have the teachers and mystics, whose stories of integration celebrate qualities of exceptional people who've integrated abilities and attributes of divinity within themselves. These myths are the epitome of all the other myths, for true masters demonstrate their teachings through their presence. They are bodhisattvas with great compassion for all of life. If you resonate with these myths, you long to know, how can I embody truth, beauty, love, and goodness?